Hello and welcome to the Twitcher Life podcast, where we explore everything related to birds and bird watching. I am Arnav, the president of Twitcher Life. Today, I'm excited to introduce our guest, Mr. Samyak Gimire, who recently graduated with a degree in forestry studies in Nepal. Mr. Gimiri has been birdwatching for over 4 years, which shows his passion for birds and the hobby itself. I look forward to our conversation, learning more about his background and experiences. Without further ado, let's welcome our guest, Mr. Samyak Gimiri. Hello, Mr. Samyak. Welcome. We are happy to have
Hello,
you here as our guest today.
hello Arnav. It's quite pleasure to have this podcast with you.
Could you please introduce yourself to our listeners and share a little bit about your background?
My name is Samya Gimire. I graduated from Agriculture and Forestry University, which is located in Hetoda, and I studied there. I did a bachelor in forestry science for 4 years, and during all these years, I was a member of executive member of Bird Conservation Nepal, Hetoda, and I was also a member of Nepalese Youth for Climate Action, which worked against the climate change, and uh, I've been quite active in bird watching activities during my college years, and I did my research also on on birds and bird diversity. Uh, I did that on this trekking trail known as Sumhali Trekking Trail, which is in Himalayan region of Nepal. And I recently graduated. It's been like 2 or 3 months, and I'm working on I'm working on correcting those research papers, and I've been writing. That's all for now.
That's cool. How has your experience with bird watching been? Could you share it?
Uh, so when I started, it was quite, I was quite curious because I've been seeing all my seniors. They have been going on bird watching, and I did see their post on Facebook and all, and uh, then I was quite interested as I joined forestry campus. I went for bird watching like for the very first bird watching, and I really liked it because I didn't know much birds, but it was quite interesting because there were a lot of things that I didn't know, so I was quite curious in that time. But and I used to go in bird watching to this nearby place, this place called Masaplan, which is basically a lake area, and there are fishes in these lakes, and all kind of ducks and cormorants and egrets, they come around to have fishes, so it was quite easy to observe those water birds. And started from watching the water birds in water areas, water shades. Then I slowly I transitioned to forest birds, and it was quite difficult to watch birds in jungles because most of the birds were like warblers. These were quite small birds, and they were quite good in hiding in the bushes. So it was really difficult to see these birds, and it got quite frustrating at some points because I used to go to watch these birds, but I couldn't figure out which bird was that, and I couldn't identify that. So I came home quite frustrated, and also in summers, they were quite frustrating moments, but all over I learned quite a lot. As I started learning, and as I started practicing it a lot, it became joyful journey. And I went to other places rather than Hetoda. I went in upper regions, I mean in higher altitudes for bird watching, and even in lower altitudes. So it became even quite more interesting with exploring new places. So it has been quite joyful, adventurous, and a lot of things.
What are your favorite birds and why do you like them?
I like a lot of birds. I mean, every bird is special. I mean, it is every bird is important for the ecosystem. But to be specific, I will go with ivy spill. it's one of my favorite bird. I mention it quite a lot in other places as well. Whenever people ask about bird watching or anything, I particular mention ibisbill because it's a bird that is found in my near my hometown, and a lot of people come here to watch that particular bird in winter season because it migrates all the way from Himalayas to that place, my hometown, near my hometown, and the bird watchers, they come here and they take pictures, they watch the bird, and even and so it's kind of ritual around here in every winter. Me and along with my birdwatchers fellow, we go to this place called the Rapti River, where the that ibis wheel is found, and we look around that river for like 3 or 4 or even more hours just to find that specific bird. I mean, there are quite many. Sometimes there are like five in numbers, sometimes there are two in numbers, and sometimes you get lucky, you even see 10 of them, but most of the time it's around like a 5 or 6, so it is quite difficult to find it, and it's quite camouflage, and you can source the bird. I mean, you know why it is difficult to find, to uh, find that bird. So Ibis Wheel has Ibis Wheel is probably my favorite bird, and another one is I like vultures because they are scavengers, and I'm not quite specific about vulture because there are quite a lot of vulture species in Nepal. There are like 8 or 9. I think one of them is vagrant, and other 8 are found in Nepal as resident or even as migrant, and so vultures, I like vultures because of their role as an ecological scavengers. They clean the nature. They are also known as the nature cleaning crew. So that's the reason. That's why I like vultures, and I always feel basically these two, I would say.
I have never seen those birds before. I hope to see them one day. How did you become interested in studying forestry in the first place?
My childhood and my teenhood comprised mostly of forest. I lived around the forest more than like half of my teenhood and childhood, and I used to walk in forest. I used to roam around. Really enjoyed. I don't know, but I didn't figure out that I was interested in forestry because this it was kind of like a regular course for me to walk around the forest, and it really didn't I didn't used to think like I was an initial lover or something, but later when I got more matured, I figured out myself that I was a nature lover. That I loved nature. In absence of nature in urban areas, I didn't quite like it a lot. In city areas, when I grew up, I explored other. I lived in other places, and I found that I'm quite attached to the forest, and as I passed my high school, uh, I was thinking I've been watching these forestry students because they lived quite near to me, and I learned about the scope about this course, that it is quite diverse. I could jump to any kind of branches. There are quite a lot of branches. You could do a lot of things after studying forestry. You could either study about watersheds, or you could either study about forest fires. You could study about wildlife management. You could study about the growth of the plant and cycle of life cycle of trees. You could study the management of forest. There are quite a lot of things that you could jump to. So all these things, all I could see was opportunities in these things, what I could do, and I got quite interested in wildlife as well, mostly wildlife, which is exactly what pulled me. I loved the concept of wildlife photography, watching wildlife, visiting national parks. This kind of intrigued me, and so I studied forestry.
That's amazing. Could you share some common bird species found in Nepal?
Okay, do you know this? There's this bird called dafe, which is called as Himalayan monal. It is a national bird of Nepal, dafe. But I think there is a fact that everyone should know. In Nepal, Dafe and Munal are quite two different birds. Munal is a different bird and Daffy is a different bird. But in English, the English name is of Daffy is Himalayan monal. Actually, monal is and Daffy are different bird in Nepali language. There is a different bird known as munal, which is called as a satire tragopan in I don't know if it's a Latin name or a English name, but Dafe and munal, these two are different birds in Nepali. So my favorite bird is that not I like Daffy. I'm not being quite hateful to it. I like Daffy, but my favorite bird is Himalayan. Not Himalayan, sorry, Monal, which is known as a satire tragopan. You could look it up in internet. Its feature is quite it's like really red and crimson in color, and the I'm quite amazed about its that call of that bird is quite amazing. It's quite creepy as well, but sounds quite good to me. A lot of people say that that call of that bird is really creepy, but I really like it. That's the reason I like that bird, and that's quite one of the unique bird found in Nepal. And there is another bird known as spiny babbler. I don't know if you have heard about it or not, but spiny babbler is a bird found only in Nepal. It's endemic to Nepal, and it's known as Carde vacure. Uh, and there are quite a lot of actually there are 890 species of birds in Nepal. So for such a small area, it is quite a lot of birds. So I cannot really cherry pick any bird. I could go for like a half an hour of just explaining about the a lot of birds in Nepal. Uh, there are this bird, tallest bird known as Sarus crane. It's the tallest bird in the world, found in Nepal, which is also found in Nepal. It's found in other region as well, but uh, it's quite special. It's also a bird I like.
Interesting. Would you like to share about your project you did related to birds?
Okay, last project I did, what I did was as I had mentioned that it was conducted in Himalayan region. So there's this district. There are 77 districts in Nepal, and one is Gorkha district. Uh, so I conducted my research in Gorkha district. So I went to Gorkha district, and inside this Gorkha district there is a Manaslu conservation area, and inside that Manaslu conservation area, there is this valley known as Chum Valley, uh, and it's quite unexplored. It was quite an unexplored place, and there were not so much paper, and it had a trekking trail. So I planned to conduct my bird diversity survey in this trekking trail. So my what my paper does, what my research is about, is that the diversity change in different elevation, in different altitude. So I counted the birds in different altitudes. There were points distributed in each altitudinal region. This and the gradient was like 100 meters. So I conducted bird count in all these points and compared the you made a print like graph in a paper, so to figure out the diversity in different altitudes, if it increased as the elevation increased, or did it peaked somewhere and drop down. Basically my paper was about that. To be more precise, it was about this mid domain theory, but it gets quite academic. If as I talk about this, it gets quite technical, so I would like to just keep it simple. It's basically seeing the bird diversity across the altitudinal range.
Thank you for sharing that. What challenges have you faced with bird watching and how did you overcome them?
I just sometimes there are days I wish that there was camera fitted in my eye, so I could just wink and do the shutter and keep that bird in my mind like a camera, and go to my place, look up the bird in a Merlin app or in that what checklist and see which bird is there. The most difficult. So uh, let me get to the point. The most difficult part about the bird is seeing small birds. Really small birds, and remembering their details and writing them down as immediately as you see them, and collecting the memory what the bird look like, and comparing it, and finding out the name of the bird. It's quite challenging to observe that. And the another one would be finding out the birds is id through their calls. Sometimes it's quite confusing. And challenges. So okay, mostly I faced challenges when the bird was quite small.
Hmm.
But and when they hide in the bushes, when the thick bushes get thicker, and when the mosquitoes all over the forest, and they bite, and insects, all that, it quite gets in my head, and it becomes quite frustrating in mostly in summer days. But mostly the photographs, I'm quite interested in bird photography. And you see, really, you could take a really good photographs in summer and monsoon season in case of Nepal. But it's quite difficult, but the photograph is worth the fight, I would say.
Oh, I'm glad you overcame them at the end. Did you have recommendations to new bird watchers on how to get started and what equipment is needed?
I think all you need is a pair of binoculars at first, and a bird checklist. Or you don't even need, okay, but it's quite good to get a bird checklist around your area. And you need to download the Merlin app in your phone, and I think you are good to go with that. And if you want to upgrade more, you better get a zoom camera. There's this particular camera called bridge camera, which is not that expensive, but you could even get DSLR or other mirrorless, and get this telephoto lens if you have a lot of budget. But if you are quite, you know not sure about it, you better start with a binocular. I would really insist to start with a binocular and go around for birding like 1 year. Really get a really good binocular. Actually, get a really good binocular and go around birding for 1 year, and write the description of the bird in a notebook. Try to exercise a lot of things with that. And then when you are quite capable of identifying those birds and writing the details about it, then proceed to camera. Then you can start with the bird photography. And you could get a, just like I said, you could get a bridge camera, or uh, zoom camera, or DSLR, anything inside your budget. Then you could get those, recorder, zoom recorder, stuff like that, which is used for recording the birds sounds. For starting, you could just record the calls from phone as well. It's not really necessary to buy those things. But when you start to get, if you are interested in research, or you are interested in making vlogs or something like that, then you could invest on it and get a recorder in like a year after your bird watching journey starts. But before that, you need to be able to identify the birds correctly. So I would highly recommend to go 1 year with just binoculars and good pair of binoculars.
Great information. Lastly, what are your future goals and plans since you got a degree in forestry?
Okay, to be fair, I'm not quite sure about where I am going with this, but I'll probably I will probably jump to jump. I actually started bird photography because I was quite interested in wildlife. So I'm not just particularly interested in birds. I'm interested in other things as well, other wildlife. So I think I will look for my career in wildlife management or something like that. Management of habitat. I will probably go around there. I like the concept of managing management of the wildlife, especially especially how things go in USA. I like the way works are done in USA to manage the wildlife, to increase the population, or all in that. So I will probably proceed to the management side.
Wish you all the best. Hope you can accomplish them. Thank you again
Thank
for
you.
being here today and sharing all the great information to listeners.
Thank you, Arnav, for your time.
Thank you. If anyone is a bird watcher who wants to be our guest, please reach us out via our Facebook Messenger, Twitter Live, and follow us. So, with that, we are at the end of the podcast. If you want to reach us out, send us a message, and please follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. Channel name is Twitter Life. Thank you so much for listening. Peace!